For the past year, we've been living in Galicia, Spain, and it has been fantastic. We could easily spend several hours talking about how much we love the food, the wine, the culture, the people, the festivals, all of it. But that's not what we're gonna do in this video.
In this video, we're gonna do a deep dive of our average monthly expenses, including things like Wi-Fi, rent, groceries, dining, utilities, all the things that make up your daily life in Spain. So if you're thinking about moving to Spain, this video is for you. I'm Lainey.
And I'm Shawn, and this is Days We Spend.
We've broken our spending down into 16 categories, and those are divided by fixed cost and discretionary spending. Our fixed costs include rent, utilities, Wi-Fi and phone, health insurance, and fees. And our discretionary spending is groceries, dining, alcohol, stuff, transit, sundries, fun, gym, coffee, Spanish class.
Also, all of these expenses are for the both of us. If you're a single person, adjust accordingly. If you want to read all about all the nitty gritty, every single fact and stat, I've written a blog post. The link is in the description and you can check that out.
Our biggest monthly expense is our rent, and we pay 600 euros a month for our 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment that you see here. It's a duplex.
You're looking at it.
And we live in Old Town in Orense, Galicia.
600 is typical. It's on the slightly higher end of average, but we really wanted a good location. We have a small balcony. There's a few features that we prioritize.
That rent includes the community fee. Oftentimes, if you see a price of rent, you want to make sure that community fee is either included or know upfront what that cost is going to be. And that's essentially like the maintenance for the building.
A low community fee would be 25 euros a month. A very high community fee would be anything around 100 or even higher. That's very rare. Also, we had to pay first month's and security deposits. It was 1,200 euros to get our apartment.
So our rent includes the furnishings. And furnishings can include things like linens and dishes, or it could literally just be a mattress and a couch.
A lot of apartments are rented furnished. And I think for Galicia, 600 is a very typical expectation for rent in a major city. Finding an apartment in Spain as an expat can be challenging, especially if you're on the non-lucrative visa. We have a whole video about the process if you want more information. Our utilities are not included, so we pay 68 euros and 43 cents
on average
every month. So that includes our gas bill, our water bill and sewage, and our electric bill.
On average, our electric bill is 15 euros a month. Some apartments in Spain have electric heaters, and that'll greatly increase your electricity bill. Whereas our apartment is heated by gas. So our gas bill, which is essentially our hot water and our heat, is on average 35 euros a month.
We made a mistake our first month here. We moved here in January and we got the apartment in February. And so we weren't sure how expensive it was going to be to run all the appliances. We weren't really good with the gas heater yet. So we accidentally had it just cranked. So our gas bill comes in 2 monthly installments. So we only get 6 a year, 6, not 7. Our first gas bill was almost 300 euros. We were like, whoa. So we turned it back down. We have a very comfortable relationship with the gas now, but that first bill kind of threw the rest of our averages off. Part of the cost of learning your utilities.
And one thing we did is we talked to our landlord, and she said, you know what, I'm going to talk to the gas company. I'm going to switch gas companies. And she did. So our average bill just came down by talking to our landlord as well. We have a pellet stove that we just recently started using a lot more for our heat. And on average, we pay 8 euros a month for pellets. And really, we're only using it for 4 or 5 months of the year.
Yeah.
Our water and sewage bill, essentially one thing, and that comes out to an average of 16 euros a month.
So our next bill is Wi-Fi and phone. Originally, these were 2 separate companies. We used Lobster when we landed to get Spanish cell phone numbers, which you need to do everything. You need a Spanish cell phone number to process your NLV, to get a bank account, to get utilities. It's one of the first things that you should do. So we went with an English-speaking Spanish provider, and they were fantastic. That was $12.99 a month for each of us. We happily used that for about 8 months. And then our internet at the time, when we first moved into our apartment, we went with Orange. They're a French company. And I thought it was going to be okay. And then the entire process was just a nightmare.
Well, they were really fast internet. It was great, except They kept messing up our billing.
Our internet got turned off twice because of a billing error on their part. We got all these fees. I don't want to talk about it anymore. So we ended up making the very painstaking process of switching to Pepe Phone. They also include cell phone lines. So we ported our numbers over and we got everything onto one bill, and I'm very, very happy that we did. We've had Pepe Phone for a few months. We pay 48 euros a month for 500 gigabit speed internet. You could pay a little bit more if you wanted the faster, but it's still really fast. And that also includes 2 cell phones that each get, I think, 50 or 100 gigs of data, something insane.
Yeah, we've never had any issues with it.
And it rolls over. It feels like the 90s. And it includes free Amazon Prime in Spain. And it includes free Netflix membership. So for 48 euros a month, we're getting both of our cell phones, great internet, and then 2 awesome perks, which is less than we were paying for just the internet on Orange. So big upgrade. Do your research, make sure that you can get internet in your area. It depends on availability. But if you can bundle your phone into your internet package, you're gonna save a lot of money.
As a foreigner living in Spain, you're required to have private health insurance. This is something we had to purchase prior to moving. And the plan that we picked cost us 708 euros each for the whole year. On average, that cost us 59 euros per month each, which is amazing. The plans you have to pick as a foreigner have no co-pays, and they have to include repatriation. So they're a little more expensive than like a normal private health insurance plan, but that also includes dental.
Yeah, we paid a little bit extra for dental. You can get a slightly cheaper plan if that's not important to you. Our last category for fixed cost is fees. Anything to do with renewing our visa or processing our visa. Anytime we had to pay a fee to receive a package or transfer money from dollars to euros, I tracked that and it came out to about 20 euros a month. So not a huge number, but it will add up, especially if you're doing a lot of transfers. Okay, now for the fun stuff. Our discretionary spending, which is like having fun and eating food.
Which is like the being in Spain.
The being in Spain.
The culture that you want.
Yeah. We spent 452 euros a month for both of us to eat out and to buy food that we didn't cook at home. That's about 15 euros a day or 7.50 per person per day, which I think is amazing because we've eaten some incredible food.
We do cook a lot though. So if you hate cooking, this number is going to be a lot higher. We also don't eat a lot of seafood or super expensive things. We prefer to just kind of go out and get tapas.
Pinchos.
So that number might be much higher for you.
It could probably easily be higher, but we're very satisfied with how much food we've been eating out.
Oh, yeah.
It also includes wine. Sometimes the menu del dia comes with a bottle of wine. We didn't separate that out into another category. That was just dining.
We find that we get a lot of value for what we're spending on Spanish food. Especially in Galicia, the quality of ingredients here is just, it's wonderful.
Our monthly grocery bill is 368 euros per month for both of us. Again, I think that number is really great for how much we get from fresh local grocers and producers.
If you want to eat a lot of vegetables, you're going to have to buy them and cook them yourself. So that's kind of my ethos.
That's the joke in Spain, is that if you want veggies, you cook it at home.
Yeah, you don't go to a restaurant for the vegetables. We don't scrimp on our groceries. I really like to get some of my favorite like local sourdough bread and this really nice olive oil from the organic market. And we go to the butcher shop to get fresh local beef and really nice Iberico ham.
We found pastrami. Oh.
And there's also a couple grocery store chains like Froy's, Gatti's, Mercadona that we hit up pretty regularly to get things like milk or almond milk or
yogurt.
Yogurts, as well as what we call the Abastos market, which is essentially the farmer's market. To us as Americans, this seems like a really cheap number. But to local Spaniards, this number is much higher than it was because there's been a lot of inflation in grocery prices the last few years.
Certain items have increased by as much as 40%. Things like staples like milk and eggs. It's happening all over the world, but it's also happening here in Spain with a lot of things. And people in Spain don't earn a ton of money, so when grocery prices rise, it really hurts. So it's important to know that it might feel cheap to us, but it's getting more expensive for people that live here long term, which may be you.
We spent 38 euros a month for both of us on Sundries. And for us, those are things like toilet paper, cleaning supplies, toothpaste, shampoo, stuff that's not a grocery, but kind of like for your health.
Groceries that you can't eat. We have a separate category for alcohol. This includes all of the wine bottles that we buy to drink at home, anytime we go out to drinks with friends, or anytime we have, wine that's separate from dinner. If I remember, I'll put it in a separate category. So it's not perfect. We spend on average about 130 euros per month for the both of us to enjoy lovely local Spanish wine and vermouth and a little beer.
But if you're going to plan to drink a lot of gin and tonics and mixed drinks, you're going to pay a lot more in this category because those imported liquors are significantly more expensive than going to get a caña or just a glass of vino tinto at the bar. And part of Spanish culture is going out to the bars and just hanging out after dinner and enjoying your time with your friends and drinking a couple glasses of wine. So don't scrimp on that.
Here in Galicia, a beer or a caña, which is like a smaller, medium-sized beer, usually costs around 2 euros. A glass of wine, a tinto or a mencia, will be 2 or 2.50. A mixed drink, like a gin tonic, 6, 8 euros. Some places 10.
Bottles at the grocery store range in price from 2 euros, 3 euros for like some bargain basement stuff to pretty nice wines for 8 euros, or you can get things up to 25 euros. And if you go to like a fancy type of wine shop, you can get all sorts of expensive wines.
Our budget is around the 5 euro mark for a bottle of wine. We found a few really good ones for 3. That's what we spend on alcohol. We also have a separate category for coffee. Coffee culture is pretty big in Spain. People meet for coffee all the time. We love coffee, so we thought it deserved its own category. We spend about 38 euros a month for both of us, so less than €1 a day. Amazing.
Our next category is stuff, and this is going to be very different based on your spending habits. So we spent 417 euros on average a month on things. Part of that included things to furnish our apartment in the way that we wanted to, such as some kitchen appliances, like we had to get a toaster oven because our kitchen doesn't even have an oven, actually.
We got an espresso maker, we got a rice cooker, we got a cast iron skillet, we got a mattress topper for our bed to make it more comfortable. It's like little touches, but we didn't buy any major furniture. Yeah. I bought a rocking chair, but our biggest expense for stuff was we got a new monitor. We created a desk to do work and edit these videos. So we got a desk, some desk chairs, a monitor. So those are things that are one-time expense that we're not going to have to do again. But we put them in there because they were important to us. There's going to be things that you want or need when you move here that are going to be, you're going to have to buy them.
Yeah, and it also just depends on how much stuff you bring with you to start.
So transit is a tricky category. We spend on average 141 euros per month for the both of us. That includes taxis, trains, and local transit, and any kind of rental cars. It does not include flights. That's a separate category.
We love to take the train, and we often will go to Madrid to visit Shawn's family that lives there. So the speed train does add up. That's included in our expenses, as well as like the metro to get around in Madrid. In this year, we went to Valencia, we went to Barcelona, we went to Sitges, we've been to Madrid a bunch of times. We've walked a lot of the caminos, so we went to Oviedo.
It's way less expensive than owning a car. Owning a car, you have to pay for insurance, upkeep, gas. So we're glad that we don't have that expense, but it is a little higher than I expected. Also, a huge chunk of our total spending on transit happened right when we landed. We spent about 250 euros to like rent a car and drive from Madrid to Orense. There was a one-way rental fee and gas and tolls and parking. So rental cars add up a lot. Take the train.
We like to go to the gym and get swole. We each go to different gyms here that specialize in the hobbies that we like to do. I like to do aerial arts, and I pay 50 euros a month for an open gym time, which is essentially 2 days a week that I can come in to a gym that has the equipment I can use and train myself on the aerial apparatuses.
Yeah, she's really good. I go rock climbing. There's a local club that's actually like an association. It's not a private business. I had to like pay for a Galician fund license to like join the gym. It's great. It's 40 euros a month. Both of our gyms are, again, pretty highly specialized, But both of our gyms are significantly more expensive than a traditional gym with like treadmills and weights. You can probably find those for like 15 or 20 a month.
So we spent 91 euros a month for both of us on entertainment and fun. This included things like costumes for festivals, dance events that we attended in Valencia and Sitges, some concert tickets. We went to some local performances here in Orense, and spas like thalassotherapy or termas, because we're in a very big spa area of Galicia.
We ended up spending a lot of our free time like hiking and walking and, just hanging out. But it's important to know that the price of entertainment in Spain is fantastic for two people. We've had a great time.
Our last category is actually, I think, one of our most important ones, which is to take Spanish class. It's important to us to integrate into the culture and to continue learning a language that we're kind of just okay at. So we are really lucky here in Galicia. There's a place called the Escuela de Idiomas. It's the local language school that is subsidized by the Galician government. So we pay 127 euros each for a whole year of classes.
It's an academic school year, so September to June, 4 hours a week with a professional qualified Spanish teacher in a classroom setting with a book. Lainey always asks if we have homework. I hate it. It's a proper school, but we really think it's worth investing in like trying to get a foothold and improve your Spanish with a qualified teacher.
So keep in mind, these are average monthly expenses, which means some of these months were more expensive and some were less expensive. If you've got friends visiting, we spent more money eating out and going to drinks all night long. But if it's just the two of us coming home from a trip, we've just holed up in our house for a week cooking vegetables.
Cooking grelos. So I hope these numbers help you plan your move to Spain, or, figure out if living in Spain is a realistic thing. I have to say that the cost of living in Spain for what we've gotten has been unbelievable. We're really happy with what we've spent. We're going to try to spend a little less next year, but we're also probably going to try to do more stuff, so we'll see. Stay tuned for our adventures. You can see all the things that we do. We'll probably update this video in a year. I don't know. Yeah, that's how much money we spent to live in Spain.
And thanks for spending your day with us.
Yeah, hope it helps.
So I'm Lainey, and this is Shawn. So please subscribe to get some more fun content on Spain and just
all that nitty-gritty Spanish information that you crave.
slash just our world adventures.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.